Well, you can go online to brightwm.com and set up and get on our calendar right now.
I mentioned it before, but it's so important to understand when you come in for the complimentary consultation. Matt is going to ask you a million questions, and it's all about what is your financial kind of dream. Close your eyes. If you had a magic wand, what does your perfect retirement look like? That's the first time we're back to Powers with Matt Vegas. We're talking about your bright and wealthy retirement. Stay with us.
Here's a highlight from the Bright Wealth Management Show library. I want to point out, Rebecca, that when I speak to our clients that are coming in for these meetings every week, one of the first things they ask, so am I meeting with you or am I going to meet with someone else? And the answer is you will always meet with me. I find that extremely important, that you will meet with me as the advisor, that you're not getting pushed off to someone else in the office. I really take the time one-on-one with every client. And even on that first appointment, you're going to meet with me directly one-on-one. We're going to spend some time digging into what I would call your retirement picture, what your forecast is for retirement, what you and your family specifically need and want, and how we can help you.
You ask them, what does your dream retirement look like, Mrs. Smith? Why is it so important for people to understand what their retirement vision is?
When you talk to anybody one-on-one and ask what their retirement vision is, it's going to be completely different. If I have 10 people, I'm going to have 10 different answers, right?
Sure.
I have couples that say, hey, we're cruising the world for 6 months. That's safe, and that's something that is understanding of what you want specifically. So when we meet with you, when you guys set up that consultation, we're going to learn about you. We're going to learn about what you need in retirement, where you're at, how we can help maximize those things for you, how we can remove some of those fees. The biggest problem that we have when I see some of these big box firms, for instance, is the fees are outrageous. And whether it's the management fees, whether it's the fund fees that they're in.
Get a free copy of Matt's awesome book, Retirement Solutions for Your Life. Call right now, 888-777-4BWM, or just book an appointment online at brightwm.com.
For more great tips on retirement and to set up a meeting, go to brightwm.com.
Have you been told that you're going to retire in a lower tax bracket, or that you don't need to worry about tax planning? Here's the truth. Right now, there's over $22 trillion in tax-deferred retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs. And that's not all of your money. You have to pay taxes on it as you withdraw it in retirement. I'm Matt Degas, host of the Bright Wealth Management Show and founder of Bright Wealth Management. I want you to think about how much you have saved in those tax-deferred retirement accounts and how much of it could be lost to taxes. That's why we've created the Bright Tax Calculator, a free tool that shows exactly what you're going to pay in future taxes and how much you can save by planning ahead. Visit brighttaxbill.com to use it now. Arm yourself with knowledge about your future taxes, and then give us a call for a complimentary tax review at 833-777-4296. Plan now to lower your tax bill in retirement. Visit brighttaxbill.com or call 833
to take out of those, but maybe he will with some concessions along the way. And in this latest example with Colombia, maybe he thinks he will get them to concede some ground regarding taking back Colombian migrants, or certainly he will put other countries on notice that we better not defy Trump on this issue. But it is a huge gamble. Does Trump really understand the dynamics of Latin America, where many of the political leaders do lean more to the left? They could easily rally around in solidarity with Colombia, and has he fully thought through the whole tariffs issue, which every economic expert says it's all very well to wield it as a political weapon, but actually the biggest losers are going to be American consumers. Their prices would go up. And that's the opposite of what Trump promised during the election campaign, which was all about bringing down the prices of milk and eggs and petrol and so on.
I've been in some of the most boring meetings in my life. Maybe for 10 hours type thing in a day. But and that's not my passion, so I'm not in that movement anymore. But I love the people who have that enduring faith. But for people who have never been a part of something that could be, maybe this wasn't boring at all. It was completely alive, but it's one song for an hour and a half. So even if it's not boring, even if it's completely alive, if you're not used to it, something inside of you has to change to be able to engage into it. And that's what I noticed, is that people were either kind of drifting off or they were pressing in. And it's a really special experience, especially that it's a once-a-year experience for most people. So to be able to set aside time to take on a deeper sense of the relationship with God, I just think it's so special what you're doing right now. Tell me how this has impacted, or tell our audience how this has impacted your family and just going on this journey together.
Yeah, it's had a huge impact on my family. I think even me personally, I think the first thing I would say is that I was a really reluctant leader. I probably still am, but I've grown into it, and I had to have people around me championing me, like, you can lead something like this. And those people around me have really helped shape my leadership. But then I think I have 3 daughters, and so for my daughters to see that it's possible for a female to lead a ministry and a business like this in another nation, I think has really captured their hearts. They've grown up in the presence of God, so they are, that's where their peace is, that's where they find their rest. So it's challenged us. We've definitely had to live in another country much longer than I think we were initially planning to, but it's been an incredible experience for them all the way around.
Wow. Thinking about the business side of this, tell us about a miracle that happened. We have lots of people in business listening to Exploring the Marketplace, and I just want to come back to what the Lord's done, like a miracle that happened, whether it was a negotiation or a contract or something like that stands out to you.
I think that I would say there have been many, and I mean, especially when you're in ministry and you're relying on support and donations to kind of get things going.
Yeah.
The consistent miracles of financial are always a miracle, and those happen often. But what was really, I think, miraculous was even to get the space on that land, that venue that we've been doing it on for the last 10 years. They have a little bit more of an Anglican background, and we were, again, the wild road 10 years ago, wild road of people that don't have really any, we just didn't really have a reputation yet. They didn't know who we were, and we were kind of like that scary younger brother that's just out there, doing, and I think we came across like that too. But for them to say yes to us, being there on their land, was a huge miracle, I believe. And the Lord kind of set that